The recipes brewed on this show are provided by HomebrewSupply.com. Fresh ingredients, best prices, and same-day shipping. Make your brew day better with HomebrewSupply.com. Right in the nick of time, Mr. Burns. I was like, what are you doing? We're about to, oh, hey, welcome to another episode of Recipe Recap, where we do go over the recipes that we're brewing in-house, and we discuss the grain bill, we discuss the hops we're using, we discuss the whole brew day process, we discuss things more than you even care to want to know, but we do it so we have an excuse to drink on YouTube. Thank you for joining us.
During the workday.
During the workday. Thank you for joining us.
We got another 10 minutes.
Well, another 10 minutes of workday. We are doing good. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. James Carlson, the Director of Operations at cmbecker.com, and the President, Chief Kegwasher, and underwriter of this show, Mr. Todd Burns. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I'm trying to do as much small talk as I can to get past having to drink this, because Todd already told me. Listen, let me,
I'm keeping an open mind. I haven't tried it in a few days. It was better the last time I tried it. Yeah,
listen,
I think
you have to trust me when I say this. Y'all come to my house, because it'll be on tap for a while. We still have breakfast stout on tap, because it's just me and my dad drinking.
Yeah.
I promise you it tastes good at my house.
Okay.
And I don't...
Maybe it tastes good here.
Well, you thought it was oxidized, and that's what bothers me. Not the criticism. What bothers me is that we could have not oxidized in one keg, but did in the other.
Well, I will have to say, we were doing the Kolsch Cup, and we had just tried 10 beers, and then I had one of these, and I may have had a little bit of, I was very judgy because I've been judging beer, and I may have drank a little bit of beer, so I may have been more vocal than I should have been.
You were in a very judgy mood, and I get it. It was Kolsch Cup. But before we pour, let me go over the low Tide Session IPA. First off, this was a featured recipe for our Super Duper Homebrew Club members. You can learn more about that program at homebrewhappyhour.com/support, or you can go to patreon.com/homebrewhappyhour and look at the $35 tiers and up. All of those receive a recipe kit in some form or capacity.
That's cool.
Monthly. Yeah, we have people in our 15-gallon tier now.
I know, isn't that awesome?
15-gallon
Todd would
tier.
be in the 15-gallon tier.
Todd and James are in the 15-gallon tier. Low Tide Session IPA. It has 5 pounds of pale ale malt, 2.5 pounds of Vienna malt, 8 ounces of caramel 20 Levy Bond, 2.5 ounces of aromatic malt. That's for aroma and aromatics. And then 2.5 ounces of Victory malt. That's for victory.
Yep.
James, you know I'm just saying things off of a list. Let's talk about session IPAs. What is their purpose? Because
You're asking me, that's funny. Well, it means you don't have anything better to drink, and no, I'm joking. I'm not, they know, and y'all know I'm not an IPA guy, but session IPA is people that like very bitter beer and want to have a lot more of it. So the alcohol is, the ABVs are a lot lower, a little easier to drink.
Well, and a commercial example that I always think of, and I didn't grab any, and like you had said, you're like, I bet Todd's got some in there, because we just assumed he would. Founders All Day IPA is a very standard session IPA.
And it's easy to get. I mean, we have it in Comanche.
Yeah, at 2 liquor stores in Comanche. So you know it's been done. But Todd made the comment at first, you don't actually prefer that as a session IPA. Is it the style?
I don't like session IPA.
You just don't like session IPA?
I mean, I like, if I'm going to drink an IPA, I want an IPA.
You mean you want to get...
You want something more full body.
Well, I want that full body, and I want that hot.
Because it kind of, and I don't know about y'all, because you know I don't drink a lot of session IPAs, but it kind of tastes, it's really light bodied.
Yes.
So it's almost like hoppy seltzer water, in my opinion.
It's hop water.
Yeah.
Todd, start pouring. I'm going to start going over these more. Our target gravity starting off was supposed to be 1040. We were at 1046. We mashed 151 for an hour. We had an hour boil time. Our final gravity was 1010. We were needing 1012. So I will let y'all.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Look at that head retention.
Very good.
One of the things that I did when on this beer
he carbed it.
is I carbed it, and then I carbed it more, and then I carbed it more. I could not get enough carbonation in it, and it got a lot better the more carbonation I put in.
Would you say carbonic acid enhanced my crappy beer? Is that what you're saying?
I would like to not comment on that.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
See, it has the aroma down.
Yeah, I mean, it smells wonderful.
I don't taste the oxidation. My palate sucks, or do you still taste it?
It may not be oxidation. I taste something at the end, like, and that may not be oxidation, maybe I think it is, but it does. It's after you've tasted it and you start to take a breath is when I taste something.
It's almost like the, how long, did you dry hop this?
We did.
How long did you dry hop?
7 days.
Okay, so I think if you backed it off to 5 days, maybe you wouldn't have it. It almost has a vegetable taste on the end.
It doesn't.
But it's not bad, I like it. Believe it or not, I like this.
He's being nice.
You know what? It has. This is what the reason I don't think
It does have a vegetable aftertaste. It literally, it could be psychological. It came up my nose just now. I was like, oh, there it is.
It's
like earthy.
It has no, and this isn't because of the brewer. I want to stress that. It has no
good qualities.
Body to it. Like it doesn't have a body like you expect in an IPA.
But that would fill the bill for a session IPA.
And listen, people love this recipe.
They do.
I talk to people all the time that are we talked to somebody came by the barn today and tried it, and they were like, "Oh, I know exactly what recipe that is. I love that recipe."
No way.
Yeah.
Trent, the contractor said that? Oh.
Nope.
Are you lying? Because he's going to watch this and go, I said it was terrible. Why did he lie?
He said that mine was better. And he said, and be sure and tell Josh that.
Okay, good.
And then he said, oh, and yours is better than James. And like he was just making stuff up.
Yeah, get Wayne in here. Yeah, I actually do like that. It's not bad.
I was going to say, well, that's the thing. And the vegetable, I need to, when I get back in town, I'll be at my pop's this Sunday. I'll try his, because I don't recall that hint of earth in the aftertaste, because I was getting it up my nose a little bit. But it's not too strong. And this is something that I can, because we finished at, what did I say? It's like 4.5 or 4.7. That's a session beer.
Yep.
Like I could throw these down, not feel bad, and still, go to work, and Todd would never know. I mean, that's that kind of beer.
That's the kind of job you
Well,
do.
the hops are a dead giveaway. So.
I did use flagship. I will say, shout out to Imperial. Flagship is a very standard strain, and it did great. I wonder if I had used juice or another one, if that would have brought out some different kind of notes from it.
I bet juice would be good in it.
Juice is the one, I think this will publish in April, so I can mention it. We're talking about doing the Simply Pale Ale. It's called Simply Juice. It's a pale ale.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested to see.
So it's more aromatics and flavor than bitterness.
Right.
Which I can do that, which is why I like a New England style IPA. It's not, you don't focus on the bittering units in the boil, and you focus more on what the hops really do, is the flavor and the aromatic.
In our brewmaster notes, I always like to look at these. We did use the cooler brew, and something that my dad thought was the coolest thing, and I thought it was very handy. We had the foundry there, and we used it for our sparge water.
Oh,
and
that's a great idea.
It helped out a lot because we were able to control it, know exactly what it had to be, keep it at that temperature, and then use it when we needed it. So I think that's what we're going to be doing going forward.
Now, did that have the pump on it too?
Correct, yeah.
So you were able to pump
just
that
pump
in?
it, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Life is easy when you are using technology. I'm trying to think of what else we had on the brewer's notes. He even blew it up for me. So yeah, we used the Genesis, which was at 4.7, and that was the first keg, and yours was in a bucket. So not saying that had anything to do with why it had some off flavors, because you use buckets all the time.
Well, I still want to go on record and say this is not a style that I care for.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Just like the one we tried before.
Yeah, the Belgian, Well, and I was kind of harsh on your Belgian only because I was trying to get you back because I knew what you were going to say about this one.
You were actually said you liked it.
I know. Oh, I said it was a pleasant version of a style I don't like.
Right. Yeah.
Is this a pleasant version of a style you don't like?
I actually like it.
Thank you, Gene.
I do.
I do too. That's the problem.
I really like it. It's good.
It tastes like watered down nothingness. But it's not. That's not an indicator. That's what it's supposed to taste
I know, but you
like.
have such a way with words.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna die before you, I'm sure, based off.
I think
history.
as session beers go, that if I wanted to have several, this would be it.
I want you to write my obituary.
Okay.
He was like a watered down nothing. Anyway, I thought I had a great.
You need a hug, don't you?
Don't stop. All you do is just crap on my beer. No, I need to bring the breakfast stout. I need to just keep brewing that.
That was so good.
Because we nailed that one in. But I will
Still
say,
my favorite by a mile.
you're trying to push me into brewing on a 3-vessel, and I think we're getting there. But I will say, I like to remind people how fun a cooler brew is.
It is fun.
Outside. It is fun.
Lots of mechanics involved.
And the weather was good, so you can do it outside. You don't need electricity. And it was enjoyable. It was a beautiful day to brew. That helps a lot too for me when everything just kind of goes together. We didn't have any hiccups, no stuck sparge, because there's not a lot to this recipe.
It's fun to do. I mean, this is old school brewing at its finest. So
Exactly.
you can't get any more home brewing than a cooler and some grain.
And with that being said, I will argue this is an extremely easy recipe, even with the dry hopping. And like you said, 5 days is probably ideal. I was either out of town or what was going on. Maybe the freeze was going on. Something happened to where I couldn't get there with my dad to transfer it. So we were like, we'll just wait another couple days. But you think that could have?
I mean, it is possible. I mean, you can always make notes and changes, and if you see a difference, then you know.
Keep on brewing.
Yeah, there you go.
This is different. Yeah, I was thinking of the IPA. We'll talk about that later, but I think it's our instructions say. We'll look at it when we do the next one.
I was going to say, I don't know if the instructions say how many days for.
Just for the record, I've always done it for 5 days. So that's me. That everybody else could be doing it differently.
And do you start immediately when fermentation's done, or do you wait?
Normally when I do after fermentation's done, I'll do the 5 days, and then, or I'll pick a time when I know I'm going to keg.
Right.
And I'll do 5 days before that, so it doesn't stay in too long. Sometimes you can get kind of a vegetable taste.
That's a good rule of thumb I'm going to remember since we're recording. If I can time it 5 days before we know we want to keg, then boom.
Yeah. And normally with us, it's usually another brew day on a Friday. So if I know that I'm going to be brewing on a Friday, especially if it's something that I'm going to repitch over old yeast, I'll throw it in on a Monday.
Yep. So with that being said, like I said, I think it's a great recipe if you don't want the booziness of an IPA, but it's not for everyone. Go buy a Founders All Day IPA or go find a Session IPA and try it. This is a style very readily available in the commercial market. So
and very popular.
Very popular. So people like to drink during the day. Lawnmower beer. People like day drinking.
Lunch,
Our audience are all functional alcoholics. Anyways, with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. You can get this recipe and every recipe that we've ever done on Recipe Recap at homebrewsupply.com. When you use our promo code HHH, you get 5% off your order. If you want even bigger discounts, join our Super Duper Homebrew Club. That's the name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear you say it.
I'm not saying it.
By homebrewhappyhour.com/support or go to patreon.com/homebrewhappyhour. Until the next episode, I hope you all have a great week. We'll see y'all then.